What if I told you that Real Madrid wasn't always the football giant we know today? Imagine a time when this iconic club was a small, struggling team, often overshadowed by rivals. It might be hard to believe, but how did Real Madrid evolve from these humble beginnings into the Galacticos of world football? Now, get your popcorn ready, as we are about to dig into the entire history of Real Madrid Football Club. Founded in 1902 as Madrid Football Club, Real Madrid began as a modest team wearing a simple white kit, a symbol of purity and simplicity. In its early years, success was elusive, as Spain itself struggled with political unrest, overshadowing the sport's growth. Despite these challenges, the foundation of greatness was being laid. A turning point came in 1920 when King Alfonso XIII granted the club royal patronage, transforming it into Real Madrid, a title that marked a shift in its stature. With newfound prestige, the team began to dominate regional competitions, setting their sights on national glory. The Spanish Civil War in the 1930s dealt a heavy blow to Real Madrid, just as they were finding their rhythm. Football took a back seat to the chaos sweeping through Spain. Madrid, once a rising football power, found itself in survival mode. Players were displaced, stadiums were damaged, and the country's infrastructure was in disarray. The future of Spanish football, let alone Real Madrid, looked bleak. Clubs across the nation were dissolving, and many wondered if football would even continue to be a priority in post-war Spain. However, this adversity would only strengthen Madrid's resolve. Many of its players and staff were deeply affected, but through their resilience, they began rebuilding. Slowly but surely, Madrid regained their identity as a football club. This era not only shaped the club, but also sparked the beginnings of the Real Madrid legacy, one defined by overcoming the odds. In 1953, Real Madrid made a move that would alter the landscape of world football forever. In what was a controversial transfer battle with Barcelona, Madrid secured the signing of Alfredo Di Stefano. His arrival wasn't just the acquisition of a talented player, it was a declaration of intent. Di Stefano, with his all-around brilliance, didn't just play forward. He orchestrated games from deep, defended with vigor, and epitomized a footballer who could do it all. Di Stefano's impact was immediate. He was the heartbeat of a Real Madrid team that dominated European football. Under his leadership, Real Madrid went on to win 5 consecutive European Cups from 1956 to 1960, a feat that has never been replicated. The 1960 final, where Madrid demolished Eintracht Frankfurt 7-3, which is still regarded as one of the greatest football performances of all time, with Di Stefano and Puskás both putting on masterclasses and scoring hat tricks. During this time, Madrid didn't just win. They set the standard for European excellence. The Merengues, as they came to be known, became the model for how football clubs could operate on a global scale. Di Stefano, along with other legendary players like Puskás and Gento, turned Madrid into a powerhouse that every other club aspired to emulate. While Di Stefano commanded the pitch, much of the club's off-field success could be credited to Santiago Bernabéu, the club's president from 1943 to 1978. A visionary leader, Bernabéu had an unwavering commitment to making Real Madrid the most successful club in the world, both on and off the pitch. He rebuilt the club's infrastructure, most notably the construction of the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, which became a fortress for the team. Bernabéu was also instrumental in creating the structure that allowed Real Madrid to dominate European football. His vision extended beyond trophies. He wanted Madrid to become the face of global football, and he succeeded. Under his leadership, Madrid revolutionized the sport not just tactically, but commercially, becoming one of the first clubs to truly embrace international competitions and tours. By the time Bernabéu passed away in 1978, Real Madrid had become more than a football club. It was an institution, and much of that credit belonged to Bernabéu's tireless efforts to expand Madrid's reach beyond Spain. The 1980s marked another golden era for Madrid. While European success momentarily eluded them, domestically, they were unstoppable. This era was defined by the rise of La Quinta del Buitre, a group of homegrown talents headlined by Emilio Butragueño, Manolo Sanchis, and Michel. These players became the backbone of a Real Madrid team that won 5 consecutive La Liga titles from 1985 to 1990, an achievement that echoed the dominance of the Di Stefano era. Beyond their domestic success, this group brought a new level of flair and excitement to Madrid's style of play. The team was renowned for its fluid, attacking football, with Butragueño, known as the Vulture, leading the line with grace and efficiency. Madrid also won 2 UEFA Cups during this period, but the European Cup still remained elusive. Off the field, Real Madrid was undergoing a cultural transformation. The club embraced its role as a global ambassador for Spanish football, traveling the world and bringing new fans into their fold. Madrid's focus was no longer just about winning. It was about building a global brand, an idea that would be fully realized in the decades to come. The 1990s were a period of transition for Real Madrid, one marked by both struggle and triumph. The early part of the decade saw Madrid playing catch-up with Johan Cruyff's Barcelona Dream Team, which dominated La Liga and European competitions. But Real Madrid would not be outdone for long. In 1994, under Jorge Valdano, Madrid reclaimed La Liga and, more importantly, introduced Raúl González, a player who would go on to become the club's all-time top scorer and an iconic figure in its history. Raúl's emergence signaled the beginning of a new era for the club. His tireless work ethic, combined with his natural goal-scoring ability, endeared him to the Madrid faithful and made him a symbol of the club's values. However, the true turning point came in 1998, when Jupp Heynckes led Madrid to their first Champions League title in 32 years, defeating Juventus in the final. This victory was monumental. It was a return to European dominance and paved the way for the next phase of Madrid's history, the Galacticos era. By the early 2000s, Real Madrid had firmly established itself as a global brand, but the club wasn't satisfied with just being dominant in Spain or Europe. They wanted to conquer the world. Enter Florentino Perez. His election as president in 2000 signaled the beginning of the Galacticos era, a period in which the club sought to bring the world's biggest superstars to the Santiago Bernabeu. Zinedine Zidane, Luis Figo, Ronaldo, and David Beckham were just a few of the stars Perez signed, transforming Madrid into a team that was not just about winning, but about spectacle. The Galacticos weren't just players, they were global icons, transcending football and becoming celebrities in their own right. However, despite their star-studded lineup, Real Madrid found that having the best players didn't always guarantee success. While they won La Liga in 2003 and captured the Champions League in 2002 with Zidane's stunning volley against Bayer Leverkusen, they often found themselves falling short in the face of a resurgent Barcelona, led by Pep Guardiola in the late 2000s. Despite the turbulence, the Galacticos era left an indelible mark on football. Real Madrid had transformed from a football club into a cultural institution, one that represented not just Madrid, but the ideals of global football style, flair, and most importantly, success. By the late 2000s, Real Madrid had lost ground to their eternal rivals, Barcelona, who were in the midst of their golden era under Pep Guardiola. With Lionel Messi leading the charge, Barcelona's dominance in Spain and Europe became unbearable for Madrid. The club needed a drastic change, and in 2010, they turned to the enigmatic José Mourinho. Mourinho's arrival signaled a shift in Madrid's approach. Known for his tactical genius and ability to galvanize teams, Mourinho was brought in to end Barcelona's reign. His impact was immediate, and by the 2011 to 2012 season, Madrid broke Barcelona's stranglehold on La Liga, winning the title with a record-breaking 100 points. Though Madrid under Mourinho struggled to consistently challenge Barcelona in Europe, his tenure laid the groundwork for the next phase of Madrid's resurgence. Mourinho instilled a sense of resilience in the squad, and while his time at the club was not without controversy, he set the stage for Madrid's future success. In 2016, Real Madrid turned to one of their greatest ever players, Zinedine Zidane, to lead the club as manager. His appointment was met with skepticism. Zidane, after all, was an unproven coach. But any doubts were quickly silenced. Under his leadership, Real Madrid embarked on one of the most remarkable runs in modern football history. Between 2016 and 2018, Zidane's Madrid won 3 consecutive UEFA Champions League titles, an unprecedented feat in the modern era. With players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos, and Luka Modric leading the charge, Madrid became synonymous with European glory once again. After Zidane's departure in 2018 and subsequent return in 2019, Real Madrid continued to compete at the highest levels. The 2021 to 2022 season saw Madrid capture their 14th Champions League title, defeating Liverpool in the final, while the emergence of players like Vinicius Jr. signaled that the next generation was ready to carry on the mantle of Madrid's dominance. The 2021 to 2022 season marked a significant turning point in Madrid's ongoing evolution. Under the calm and experienced leadership of Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid re-established themselves not just as a force to be reckoned with domestically, but also in Europe. The victory over Liverpool in the Champions League final not only gave Madrid their 14th European crown, but it also showcased the rise of a new generation of stars like Vinicius Jr., whose match-winning performance solidified his place as one of the world's most exciting young talents. But Madrid's journey through this period was more than just individual brilliance. Players like Rodrigo, Eduardo Camavinga, and Aurelien Tchouaméni began to emerge as the backbone of the future Madrid. The club's ability to blend young talent with established veterans like Luka Modric, Karim Benzema, and Toni Kroos ensured that Madrid's competitiveness remained at the highest levels. Despite their success, Real Madrid faced stiff competition. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City posed a formidable challenge in Europe, while domestically, Barcelona began to show signs of recovery. The 2022-2023 season ended in heartbreak for Madrid as Manchester City knocked them out in the Champions League semifinals. However, the disappointment only served as fuel for the squad to come back stronger. In the 2023-2024 season, Madrid returned with a vengeance. The team clinched the Spanish Super Cup, dismantling Barcelona in a commanding display that reignited the eternal rivalry. This victory set the tone for the rest of the season. In La Liga, Madrid surged ahead, amassing a staggering 95 points and regaining domestic dominance with a blend of tactical discipline and attacking flair. The Champions League, as ever, remained Madrid's true domain. After a tense quarterfinal clash with Manchester City, where Madrid exacted revenge through a dramatic penalty shootout, they faced Bayern Munich in the semifinals. At the Santiago Bernabeu, Madrid pulled off one of the most memorable comebacks in the club's illustrious history, overturning a 2-goal deficit to triumph 3-2 on aggregate, with the stadium roaring in disbelief and joy. In the Champions League final, Madrid faced Borussia Dortmund, a formidable opponent, but one they confidently bested with a 2-0 victory. This triumph marked their 15th Champions League title, a staggering achievement made even more impressive by the fact that they went through the entire competition without losing a single match. Vinicius Jr. once again stole the show, further cementing his place as one of the world's premier footballers. Meanwhile, Toni Kroos, one of Madrid's most dependable servants, bowed out at the end of the season, announcing his retirement after delivering yet another vintage performance. It was a bittersweet moment for the club as they bid farewell to one of their modern-day legends. But with the promise of new talents, Madrid knew their future was still bright. The summer of 2024 brought one of the most anticipated transfers in recent football history. After years of speculation, Kylian Mbappé joined Madrid from Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer. It was a move that sent shockwaves through the football world. Mbappé, already a global superstar, represented the next phase of Madrid's ambition to continue their dominance not just in Spain or Europe, but on the global stage. With Mbappé now leading the line, Madrid's attacking threat reached new heights. The combination of Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Mbappé promised to terrorize defenses for years to come. The move wasn't just about football either. It was a strategic decision that solidified Madrid's standing as the world's premier football club. For years, Mbappé had been courted by every top club in Europe. But by choosing Madrid, he signaled that the Santiago Bernabeu was where the brightest stars belonged. Beyond his raw talent, Mbappé has brought with him a hunger to win the Champions League, a trophy that had eluded him during his time in Paris. At Madrid, he now has the perfect environment to fulfill that ambition. Under Carlo Ancelotti, Madrid's squad has continued to evolve, with the world's top talents at their disposal and the unwavering support of their passionate fan base. The future of Madrid is brighter than ever. As they have entered the 2024-2025 season, the club's ambitions remain clear: to dominate La Liga, reclaim the Champions League, and continue expanding their global reach. Now that you've explored the rich history of Real Madrid, which club's story would you like to dive into next?